Welcome back. Our top story this half hour, the fate of a commonly used abortion pill, mifepristone, now uncertain after competing rulings over the drug's legality.
Earlier today, a federal judge in Texas suspended the FDA's approval of the drug, and then a short time later, within minutes, a judge in Washington state, a federal judge, ruled that the drug is safe and effective. Those
rulings now stirring up a reaction, as you can imagine, as we mentioned, from lawmakers and even the vice president. For more on these decisions, San Jose State professor Grace Howard from the Department of Justice Studies. Welcome, Professor. You feel like you get whiplash because it's just been, going back and forth. Where does this ultimately end up? The Supreme Court?
It's definitely possible that this ends up at the Supreme Court. Essentially, the rulings from Texas and Washington are equally binding. And we know that the Supreme Court often intervenes when we have split decisions in the same legal circuit. We know that the Department of Justice and the pharmaceutical manufacturers have already appealed the Texas ruling. And so, yes, it is very possible that this will end up at the Supreme Court. It is possible that this could result in a nationwide ban on mifepristone.
Well, let's talk about the Texas ruling, because that ruling said that this FDA had to suspend the use of this. This has been around for a long time. This drug has been around for more than 20 years and has been deemed safe that entire time. What is the legal reasoning for the judge to make this decision when something has been around for that long?
It's pretty astonishing, really. The plaintiffs in this case are sort of a pop-up legal organization. They were founded just a few months ago, and they cherry-picked this Texas judge because he is so blatantly anti-abortion, and he has already shown a willingness to overlook the technicalities of law in support of those views, which is not really the way that judicial decision-making is supposed to operate. He cited a lot of fully discredited anti-abortion research in support of this argument, and he actually invoked a anti-obscenity law from the 1800s that was used to ban transportation in the U.S. mail of things like pornography, but also things like contraception or information about abortion or even medical textbooks. Also, if you look at the language of the decision very closely, he plants the seeds for fetal personhood in law. He argues that mifepristone harms unborn persons. Right, so the implications of this are potentially huge. We know mifepristone is safer than Tylenol. And so in this case, we really see just the extent to which our seemingly apolitical judiciary is really exercising politics and power here.
Yeah, I mean, and especially because you're looking at branches of government, and you have an FDA that's supposed to be overseeing this, and yet now this judge is saying he knows better than the FDA. I didn't get into all the nitty-gritty, but wasn't it based also on the amount of testing that this drug did or didn't have? And my understanding is that it got like some 50 months of testing compared to the average of 18 months for other drugs. So it just seems, I don't know, flawed in some of the basics of the case.
It is absolutely flawed. This decision is not grounded in science. This judge even argued against the use of the word fetus, right? He said that fetus wasn't the correct word. He prefers using, unborn persons. So it's blatantly political, this decision.
So if it gets to the I guess what I'm trying to cut to the chase here, if the U.S. Supreme Court does get involved, we already know how they've ruled. They overturned Roe versus Wade. So I mean, this gets beyond law now. It just gets into political action by activist judges. Is that what we're talking about?
That's exactly what we're talking about. In the Texas case itself, the plaintiffs really had no legal standing, right? This lawsuit shouldn't have actually been allowed to happen. They didn't go through all of the kind of standard processes and procedures that we typically require for lawsuits of this kind. None of the physicians that are involved in this legal organization have patients in Texas. So, I mean, really the whole thing, it is such a blatant political power play, and it really weakens the legitimacy of the judiciary in the United States.
So will this be appealed, challenged?
It will be appealed. The Department of Justice has already filed an appeal at the Fifth Circuit, and so have the two pharmaceutical companies that manufacture the drug. We will see what happens in this ruling. But for now, mifepristone is still legal. It is still available. It still has FDA approval. That has not gone away yet.
And how soon can these challenges be made? And because the judge only gave a few days for the Biden administration to make a challenge, even if they challenge it, I mean, which way is this going to go while all of this is being litigated?
So right now there's a pause on the ability to enforce either of these. And because the Texas and Washington decisions are in direct opposition to one another, the FDA currently has discretion on which one it will enforce. We are hoping that they will enforce the Washington ruling, which asks them to maintain the status quo. Something else that is pretty alarming about what's happening right now is that lawsuits of this kind typically take years, right? The process will take years, and this is happening very quickly. It is possible that the U.S. Supreme Court could be issuing an opinion on this case by the end of the summer.
So in the meantime, what can patients and doctors do?
So, like I said, currently it is still legal in, well, most states, right? We know that the majority of abortions right now are happening using medication, these FDA-approved medications, mifepristone, which is the one that they're considering banning, and misoprostol. Now, misoprostol alone can be used to safely terminate a pregnancy. It is slightly less effective than the misoprostol-mifepristone combo, but because misoprostol is also used for things like the treatment of ulcers, banning that outright is going to be a lot more complicated. And so in the meantime, we still have access to these medications. We know that making abortion against the law doesn't stop people from having abortions, right? People will find ways to access these medications even once it becomes illegal because they are desperate, right? And so for now, things will stay the same. But it could change very dramatically very soon. Really talking about a nationwide abortion ban here.
A lot to consider, a lot going on, and we're going to have to stay on top of this as we move through all of this process. Professor Grace Howard from San Jose State University, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Have a good evening. Thank you for your thoughts.